are anime fights you watch and forget. And then there are fights that stick with you for years. The ones where you had to pause, sit back, and just process what you just saw. Today we're ranking 8 of those fights, not just by animation or hype, but by how much they actually meant. And the number 1 pick? I think deep down, every anime fan already knows. Before the list, here's how I'm judging these. Animation quality. How does it actually look? Emotional weight. Did the fight mean something beyond just punching? Story payoff. Was this the culmination of something bigger? And cultural impact. Did this fight change how people think about anime? Every fight gets evaluated on all 4. Let's get into it. Starting at number 8. Eren versus basically the entire world in Attack on Titan's final arc. And look, I want to be honest here. This is less of a traditional fight and more of a tragic conclusion to one of the greatest stories ever told in anime. The spectacle is insane. The rumbling, the alliance, the final confrontation with Eren. But as a pure fight, the choreography isn't the strongest on this list. What carries it is the weight of everything that came before. You're not just watching a battle, you're watching the end of a story you spent years investing in. That emotional context is what earns it a spot on this list. Number 7. Gon versus Neferpito from Hunter x Hunter. And this one is fascinating because it's less about the fight itself and more about what Gon becomes during it. After finding out what happened to Kite, something in Gon just breaks. He trades everything, his future, his potential, his entire life force, for enough power to get revenge in that moment. The fight is almost secondary. What you're really watching is a child completely lose himself. It's deeply unsettling, and Madhouse animated it in a way that makes you genuinely uncomfortable, which is exactly the point. Number 6. Sung Jin-woo versus the Ant King from Solo Leveling. And this one is here almost entirely on the strength of its animation. A1 Pictures went absolutely crazy on this fight. Every frame is clean, every movement feels deliberate and weighty. What I appreciate about this fight specifically is how it shows Jin-woo's growth. He's not the scared kid from the beginning anymore. He's completely calm, completely in control. Fighting something that should be impossible and treating it like it's just another obstacle. The confidence translates through the animation beautifully. Number 5. Naruto versus Sasuke. And honestly, this could have been higher purely on emotional grounds. This is a rivalry that the entire series built toward. 2 kids who started as teammates, became something like brothers, and ended up on completely opposite sides of everything. The final fight delivers on that. It's not the most technically impressive animation on this list, but it doesn't need to be. Every punch carries the weight of the entire series behind it. When it ends, and neither of them really wins, it feels exactly right. Sometimes the most satisfying conclusion isn't a victory, it's just an understanding. Number 4. Tanjiro and Rengoku versus Akaza from Demon Slayer Mugen Train. And if we're judging purely on animation quality, this might actually be number 1. Ufotable set a new standard with this fight. The flame-breathing effects, the speed of Akaza's movements, the color work, it's genuinely some of the most beautiful action animation ever produced. But what pushes it to number 4 and not higher is that the emotional core of this fight belongs to Rengoku more than Tanjiro. His death is what you remember. His smile at the end is what stays with you. It's a stunning fight attached to an even more stunning character moment. Number 3. Luffy versus Kaido. And the reason this sits at number 3 is simple. No fight on this list carried more accumulated weight behind it. Kaido was built up for years as the strongest creature alive, someone who literally could not be defeated. And then Gear 5 happened, and everything changed. The animation goes from dark and brutal to this almost cartoon-like joy, which perfectly reflects what Luffy's power actually represents. It's not just a great fight, it's the payoff of a 20-year investment. And Toei, for all their reputation, genuinely delivered when it mattered most. Number 2. Ichigo versus Aizen. And what makes this fight special isn't just the animation or the power scaling, it's the entire journey to get there. Aizen's betrayal recontextualized everything that came before it. Suddenly, every interaction, every moment of trust, All of it was manipulation, and when Ichigo finally faces him at the end, he uses a technique that costs him everything. Mugetsu. One attack, one shot. He burns through his entire Soul Reaper power to land it. That kind of sacrifice hits differently than a power-up. It's a character choosing to give up everything they are for one moment. That's storytelling through a fight. That's why it's number 2. Number 1. Goku vs. Frieza on Namek. And look, I know some of you came into this video ready to argue, but hear me out. Every fight on this list, Aizen's betrayal, Gear 5, Ufotable's animation, Gon's breakdown, all of it exists in a world that this fight helped create. When Goku went Super Saiyan for the first time, it wasn't just a power-up. It was a moment that told an entire generation of kids that there was something beyond what they thought was possible, that you could push past every limit when it mattered most. The animation by modern standards isn't the strongest. The pacing is famously slow, 5 minutes that lasted weeks of episodes. But none of that matters, because when that golden light appeared and Frieza took a step back for the first time, genuinely afraid, every person watching felt something shift. That's not just a great anime fight, that's a cultural moment, a turning point. Every creator who worked on every other fight on this list grew up watching this one. That's why it's number 1, and honestly, I don't think it's that close. That's the list. 8 fights that genuinely meant something, not just as action sequences, but as moments in storytelling. I'm curious though, what's the fight that actually changed how you see anime? Not necessarily the best animated or the most hype, the one that hit you personally. Drop it in the comments. I read all of them. And if your pick isn't on this list, maybe that's the next video.